And welcome to Darkest Dungeon. Now, I think I'm going to do these review things a little bit differently. Just a short review about a game, basic principles, that sort of stuff, and then maybe go over it with a more in-depth video, say just like a go through a mission, something like that, just something more in-depth so you can get a basic understanding of it afterwards. That way you have, a quick little go-to and a longer one if you want some more information. And that's what I'm doing now. This is going to be a longer playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. Just one mission and then I'll probably finish it off. At the moment I've gotten reasonably far into the current early access. There's a few maps still blocked, but I've taken care of a few bosses. I've leveled up my people a little bit. See, they're all different levels now. I have lost a ton of people as well, as you should expect to. Poor people, all dead. Yep, there we go. Now, so far it's been quite fun, like, even just the basic missions, you're still making a lot of progress in your town. I've been, upgrading all my taverns and resting places so I can get back my characters quicker after they incur a lot of stress. They do incur a lot of stress. That lady likes the sex. These ones like the gambling. Actually, I've got 5 people that like to gamble, so I'll probably have to upgrade that soon as well. And you have your little resources down the bottom. And depending on the place, is what it uses. This place uses portraits and your seals. The sanitarium to remove little quirks and stuff. I might try and do one of them now. Let's get rid of your... I know, we need some money. Won't do that yet. We got the church for praying and stuff. This one's the guild. This is a rather funny one. Like, you put your heroes in there and you can upgrade your skills to better perform a bit better. Not much better, like it's only a little bit, maybe an extra damage or something like that. But also give them some new skills they might want. Sometimes when you get them from the stagecoach, they won't have the skills that you want for your party. They won't have, that support skill or that damage skill you really like. So you'll buy it here and then you'll have it. And even some missions in particular, especially with the bosses, you'll need to equip maybe an AoE ability or some extra cures or just some heavy damage, that sort of stuff. So that's where it all comes in handy here, and then you can go in and flip around on their character profile, change their skills, change their camping. That's it. As you can see, he's been in a lot of missions, so he's got a lot of issues. A lot of quirks, that's what you call them. Some of these will obviously be bad and come up a mission. Even the red ones, sometimes even though they say bad, it's not too bad. Like, you can only gamble. That's okay, I can deal with that. But then when you've got stuff like, extra stress or coming down on your speed or your attack and that sort of thing, that's when you have to be worried. But I've got a decent balance here with the positives, so I'm not too worried. And they all have that style of thing too. This guy's deep in trouble. And then we have the blacksmith. I've upgraded this as well. This is, your weapons and armor. And he takes a lot of these. You have to save them up for a while. I've been saving up for armor. And obviously the better weapons you get, the better armor you get, the easier some of these missions are going to be. And some of them even require it. They get quite difficult. Now I'll take you on a mission. We'll go embarking. And I don't have much money, so we probably won't do a long one. One of these short ones, yep. And like most MMOs, you want, a reasonable tank at the front, some kind of healer at the back, and then, yeah, a range of damage type classes popped around. And then provision. And get some light sources. If you run out of that, you're in a lot of trouble, because then monsters get a lot harder, and they can also ambush you in the dark as well. It's very bad. Food, you're going to need to eat during your mission at least once, and if you don't, you incur a lot of stress, you lose health, obviously need it. And a lot of times you'll get these barriers, and if you don't have a shovel to clear them, the stress on your characters is immense, and it can really make or break a mission when you don't have one of those. And then I just like, maybe extra food. and some bandages. And there we go. On the longer missions, the ones where you have to camp, they have a lot of room, so you're going to need at least triple that to make it through. And sometimes you'll have to just turn tail and you won't be able to use it all, and you lose that money. You don't get any of those provisions back when you finish there. I don't know, biodegradable or something. Damn hippies ruining my dungeoning. Anyway, here we are. So as you can see on the map down the bottom, there's a range of rooms to go through. So at the moment I'm in the beginning, and each of these missions will have a certain completion state. So 100% a room battle, so I'm probably going to need to go into most of these to check if there is a battle, and then complete the battle. So we'll get moving. I've kitted out these guys a little bit too. They've got some items to help them, along in the missions, but with a lot of things in this game, it has that balance. You get some positives from it, but you also have a lot of negatives. Like you can see, ACC is how easy it is to hit. I've got extra crit, but then I'm also doing less damage. So there's that balance. The next one is, bleed and blight resist, but then a little bit less disease resist. And some of these other items are like that too. That's not too bad. You usually have a lot of light, but you got, less able to hit, but I don't get knocked back as often, and it works around like that a lot with these items. That's marching on. And then, you have to go through these passageways, make your way to the next room, and yes, lots of bad stuff happens like that. Stupid priest. And you have to click on everything, but it's usually not very good for you. Like, a lot of these things are quite bad. There we go, he's a drunk now. Yep, great. So that's what happens. You can't help but click on it, because sometimes you'll get extra food, or you might get a new item, or just some extra things to take home to upgrade your town. But then you also come out of it with a lot of negatives. That balance. Sometimes it's positive, a lot of the time it's negative. Let's keep moving. Yeah, why not? There we go, map. That helps you a lot in these instances, because you can see where the battles are now. And traps. And loot. So we'll keep marching along this way. And here we are. Battle! No, as you can see, I was surprised, which isn't good. Swips around your melee and your backline people, which doesn't help very much, because then they can't attack. You gotta move them.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And a lot of it while you're fighting is that strategy, what move am I going to use now? What's the best one to go for? And sometimes you just end up wrong with that decision, and it really does impact on you. Thank you. Let's move these people back. There we go. Get them back in position. In combat, it takes them like an actual action point to move, but when you're out of combat, you can just move them how you want. And now this is the big combat scenes. Each of these people has their own kind of abilities that you've really got to be careful on, depending on, how well you're doing. You've got some of them that cause a lot of bleed. He does big damage. And a couple that do a lot of stress to your players, so depending on how your party is who you're going to really be focusing on. So I'm just going to AoE a bit to start off with. And that doesn't work, because it hates me. There we go. I got debuffed. Now I'm marked. In some trouble. So as you can see, the AoE abilities, they do a lot less damage, minus 40% than, your regular damaging ones. I think I'll knock him back. This is where you start thinking about strategy. He can't hit me if he's in the back lines. So, he resisted that anyway. And I might stun big guy. And as you can see, the game hates you sometimes. You know, you work out your plans. Oh, I'm going to push this guy back. I'm going to stun. But whether that actually happens is a different story. They each have their own resist ratings, as you can see. And sometimes it could be low and it'll still resist. It happens. Just as you've got your own stats as well that will help you. And you can't do much about that, unfortunately. It just happens. It's that RNG. Strike through. You dead.
As victories must
I like the character models too. They're really, really creepy.
Resistance.
Yeah, AoE. There we go. Like super creepy. Like look at the background. It's like whoever does this must be disturbed. There we go. We won that, and we got some loot. Some good loot. See, some of these items are just for particular classes too. That's for, you know, Jester. But some items are just for everybody as well. And I am going to click on this because I'm stupid. Yep, I'm stupid. What happened to you now? I know, just extra stress. Oh well. Let's go back to the map. Keep moving along. And when you're out of battle, like, you can't heal as much either. It's just during combat. You can camp to heal, you can... Oh,
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Why would you do that?
Curious is
Awesome.
the trap maker's art. His efficacy
God,
unwitnessed by his
keep
own
it.
eyes.
It's like, it's masochistic. The game hates you sometimes. It just does stuff to like peeve you off. Yeah, trap. Whatever.
Executed with
And it's really hard to get through some of these missions too. You really have to think about it. And at the end of it too, you can escape and you can, you know, get you guys out alive. And sometimes that's the best option, failing the mission, but keeping people alive. Dead, sucker. And I am going to open your veins. No bleed. Eek. See, those attacks that don't do much damage, they actually do a lot of stress. And it's getting quite high, as you can see. And when that hits breaking point, yeah, you'll see what happens. You can either get a good buff for the dungeon or a bad buff, and they have a really strong effect. Usually it's a bad buff. And then they get abusive at everyone, and everyone else's stress goes up. It's very bad. I'm gonna heal you. There we go. No, don't keep attacking him. It's very bad. See? Gross. Why would you vomit on someone?
This expedition at least promises success.
Keep your luncheon, mister.
Packs laden with loot.
I heal her because I really like that
Low on
class.
supplies.
Healing them is awesome. Great damage, great AoE. Best class. By far. I have like
Such
4 of them.
blockages are unsurprising. These
There we
tunnels
go. We
predate
earned
even
lots
the
of loot.
earliest settlers.
Das is good. And we keep moving. Yep. And here we go. We found it, so we can use our shovel. Get rid of that. And as you can see, my light's getting a bit low now too. So it's under 25%. That means extra stress and extra damage from monsters and stuff. But you get more loot, which is good, and more crits. But yeah, it's much, much better to have more light. See? Where you can surprise monsters and scout better. And here we are. Alright, these guys don't have much health, as you can see, HP 5, but a decent amount of speed. And they do a lot of bleeding. See, that's the thing, once you start playing this game a lot, you start learning all these monsters, you start learning what they do, and you start learning how to counter them. And that's what you have to do. Like, the way I describe this to a friend, it's basically a group-based 2D Dark Souls. If you don't learn from it, you're going to die. And horribly. Just stop. Oh, they've changed that ability. Never mind. It didn't used to have that debuff when I did that area attack, and now it does.
Be gone, fiend.
Alright, let's heal again. Here we go. Open your
These
vein.
nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
And yeah, that didn't used to have the minus damage. That is new to me. So yeah, they have good damage now, but debuff yourself at the same time. There we go. Right, next room. See, this is the scary part, where you don't know what's in the next room. And sometimes your characters will be low in health, they're high stress at the moment, and they can just really be bad for you. No, I don't want to read anymore. I'm too high stress. I'm too high strung. Right, there we go. Let's kill everybody. Stop attacking my Helion. I like her. I love the AoE. Once you get a few AoE abilities, it really helps.
There can be no hope in this hell.
Heal you.
No hope at all.
Oh, this is the bad part. There we go, hopeless. And now she'll say the most terrible shit to her friends, and they will all get stressed because of it. And I will most likely lose this dungeon now. Although we're only 2 rooms left, so we might be in good shape. Because when they're high stress, there's other effects too. I'm not sure what it is, but
Trifling
I think
victory.
speed goes down, ability to hit goes down as well. Stuff like that. It's really quite bad. I'm just going to kill you and heal myself. Nope. I'm not going to kill you. Bonk. Bonk. Yep, next room. Spiders. I hate spiders. Bonk. See, when you start out, these sort of stuff is a lot harder. See, I've got level 2 characters, level 1 there as well, but they've all got, upgraded gear. They've all got upgraded armor. Some of them even got upgraded skills. So I'm doing a lot more damage. I'm taking less damage. And, yeah. When you start out, this is a hard slog. A very hard slog. You will lose people. You will lose missions. You will be on the point of despair at every single moment. Every door you open will be the next
A victory.
challenge towards death.
Perhaps the turning
It's really
point.
quite scary. Nice shot, lady. Yeah, see, she did that all on her own. That's what that bad trait is. She's really stressed, so it kind of does things to her to make her not as good a character. But she killed the person, so I'm happy anyway. Take all. This is a good mission, and I think that's the last one over there. Yep. Don't you touch it. Sometimes you got to be careful with who goes for the bags and stuff, because there's a trait where they just steal everything, which is what I think my leper has got. And then you don't get anything. They keep it. They're horrible, horrible people. Here we go. Last door. Dun dun dun. This has been a pretty easy mission. I haven't really faced many really, really hard groups. But I think my leper's going to crack soon. Leper. Yep. It's your turn, isn't it? Nope. See these status effect too? You can use like abilities and items you have. So this one counters blights and poisons, and it only does 1 damage for 2 rounds, so I'm not really that worried about them. There's some that do like 2 damage or 3 damage, and that's what you'll kind of save those for. Oh, you haven't hit this entire... Oh, I hate that. Sometimes you're just unlucky, and some of you people will not hit a single attack. For no reason. It's just, that's what happens. You're rolling the dice, and it's coming up with snake eyes. Either that, or the Dungeon Master has loaded them. You never can be quite sure with this game. It cheats. It really does cheat. Alright. Let's see if you can hit someone this turn. No. Why not?
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Excellent. Excellent. Ooh, you're getting close. And there we go. No. Alright, we can get rid of that because we don't need it anymore. There we go. And we finished it. Kudos to me. Room's finished, room's cleared. You don't need to go... That's the thing, with some of these you don't need to go into every single room. You don't need to go every hallway. So when you're scouting and you'll have scouting abilities, you can kind of avoid those really dangerous trap areas and stuff. That was a pretty good mission. Nobody died. There we go. We'll get out of here. And it tells you what you won from, you know, getting through the dungeon, what you found, what it rewards. Lots of good stuff. And then it tells you what happened to your characters. So, yep, bad traits and good traits. So not too bad. Let's see what my healing... Yeah, that's pretty good. Awesome. Came out of that pretty good, actually. Sometimes you'll open all these up, and even though you've, like, completed the entire mission, it will just give you the worst traits, like minus 20 stress, or you know, plus 20 stress in those situations, or all this less damage, and you're going to bleed to death all the time now. And for no reason, you won the mission, but your character is screwed. There we go, and that is a mission in Darkest Dungeon. And once you get back, it's all about maintenance again. Like, you've only got a certain amount of money. You've got to save some of that for your next mission, you know, provisioning. But you also want to get some of these people healed. They do need attention. This one's the drinker now. So we'll take him to the bar. There we go. And who else needs some attention? Definitely you, who is may not meditate. Right. You can have the ladies. There you go. And you. Ah, she can't go to the brothel. I will send you to the church, away from the ladies. Pray. There we go. And maybe you two. Meditate. Yep, awesome. And then, yeah, like I said, you look at what you've got here, you upgrade your town. I might see who else needs a bit of upgrades. You're good. Maybe upgrade her skills. Yeah, you can have that. And yeah, keep a little bit of money in the bank, and then you're good. And as you can see, I've got, yeah, a couple level 3 characters now. That's the higher level missions. Orange. Red's 5. And see, if I try and go to one of these smaller missions with them, they just outright refuse. So you gotta try and balance around having a good difference in your levels just so you can complete different missions. Get back. Get back. You can hire more people. At the moment my roster is full, and that's who's available to hire. But you can, upgrade your roster. Get more people coming in, that sort of stuff. It's all good. And thanks for watching. And I'll have maybe like a smallish review coming up in the next couple of days. I've already written one, it's already up. And I'll just probably, I don't know, voice that and add some pictures and funny stuff. And thanks for watching.